All right, history buffs, buckle up. We're about to dive into World War II, but hold on. Put down the textbooks filled with dates and casualty figures. Today, we're talking about a side of the war they don't teach you in school. The ridiculous, the absurd, the side that makes you wonder, wait, that actually happened? Take Operation Mincemeat, for example. The Brits, in a stroke of pure genius, decided to fool the Nazis with a corpse. Not just any corpse, mind you, a corpse carrying fake battle plans. The goal convinced the Germans that the Allies were going to invade Greece, not Sicily. The plan worked flawlessly. The Germans fell for it, hook, line and sinker. It was a masterpiece of deception, made even funnier by the sheer audacity of it all. Seriously, a fake spy with fake plans. Someone deserves an award for thinking up that one. It's moments like these that remind us that even in the darkest of times, the human capacity for absurdity shines through. And frankly, thank God for that. Imagine being stuck in a trench dodging bullets. Not exactly a barrel of laughs, right? But even amidst the chaos and fear, soldiers found ways to laugh. Humour, after all, is a powerful coping mechanism. It's a way to find light in the darkness, to bond with your mates, and to momentarily forget the horrors around you. Soldiers would crack jokes, sing silly songs, and even put on impromptu comedy shows. There were the classics, of course, the timeless jokes passed down through generations of soldiers. Then there were the ones specific to their situation, jokes about the food, the enemy, even their own officers. One popular joke involved asking new recruits if they knew the difference between a German bullet and a British one. When the recruit inevitably said no, the veteran would reply, "You'll find out soon enough." Morbid? Perhaps. But it also highlights the gallows humour that helped soldiers cope with the ever-present threat of death. These jokes, as silly as they might seem, were a lifeline. They were a reminder of humanity, of shared experience, and of the simple joy of laughter. Let's be clear, the Axis powers were not known for their sense of humour, but even they, unintentionally, provided some comic relief. Take, for instance, the time the Italians tried to invade Greece. The Italians, known for their love of pasta and aversion to strenuous activity, were woefully unprepared for the mountainous terrain and the fierce Greek resistance. The Greeks, outnumbered and outgunned, used their knowledge of the land to their advantage. They launched surprise attacks, rolled boulders down mountainsides, and generally made life miserable for the invading Italians. The whole campaign was a comedy of errors, with the Italians constantly finding themselves in ridiculous situations. Or consider the infamous Nazi search for the Holy Grail. Yes, you heard that right. Himmler, Hitler's right-hand man, was convinced that the legendary chalice held mystical powers that could help the Nazis win the war. He dispatched teams of archaeologists and occultists to scour the globe for this mythical artifact. Needless to say, they never found it. But the very idea of a bunch of Nazis running around looking for a magic cup is, well, let's just say it's not exactly the image of fear and intimidation they were going for. World War II was a time of unimaginable horror and sacrifice. But amidst the darkness, there were moments of light, moments of laughter, moments that reminded people of their humanity. Humour, it turned out, was more than just a distraction. It was a weapon. A way to fight back against fear, despair, and the overwhelming sense of helplessness. It allowed soldiers to bond, to cope, and to maintain their sanity in the face of unimaginable horrors. It provided civilians with a much-needed escape from the constant threat of air raids and food shortages. And it reminded everyone that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could still find a reason to laugh. So the next time you're studying a history book or watching a documentary about World War II, remember this. There was more to the story than just battles and bloodshed. There was laughter, there was absurdity, and there was a shared sense of humour that helped people get through their darkest hour. And that, my friends, is something worth remembering.